This will be covering a bunch of features I think we can all agree that we really want to see in Forza Horizon 6. Now the first one is going to be interactive crowds, almost like GTA. In Forza Horizon 5, there's generally quite a poor atmosphere, while a lot of the festival areas are certainly alive with a lot of music bumping and people hanging around watching you drive. Outside of these inner festival areas, it's pretty much a ghost town. For example, the main city in Forza, or at least the Mexican primary city, is virtually empty. There aren't any pedestrians, there's no one around, and it makes it feel like it's just you driving around, especially with a few random NPC cars. Now, one recommendation could be to add pedestrians. Examples of this were seen in the trailer, so why not add it? In the trailer there are quite a lot more pedestrians, or more so the actual crowds are, like I said, more interactive. You could add it where pedestrians avoid the car as you drive towards them by using the exact same dynamics we primarily saw with animals in Forza Horizon 5, such as the sheep that were virtually impossible to hit. You could try as hard as you wanted to, they'd always get out of the way almost all of the time. You could have the same dynamic with humans just to make sure it's not gory at all, or even pedestrians could make remarks or point out to your car, like I said what we've seen in GTA, especially if you come through with one that's pretty well customized. Now secondly, talking about customization, more customization. Getting features like bagging cars, adding underglow, customizable interior, and even house upgrades to your existing house you might want to purchase. Even if it's a mansion or a smaller house, being able to change a few things about it to make it more unique, particularly in the interior Forza Vista part where you can see your car. This is definitely something feasible Forza could do, but simply haven't yet done, despite how many years we've seen these Forza Horizon games for. Even something outlandish like electric swaps, I imagine they'd be a little bit fundamentally more difficult to implement, but would definitely make the game a lot more enjoyable. Now, of course, guys, being able to customize certain aspects of the interior with specs the car manufacturer offer, which would allow it to align with what the licenses want to see and make it more exciting to spec out your car exactly as you like. The reason that I point this out is because this feature could be added in a way that aligns with what the licenses want to see. For example, Ferrari might not want to see you make your interior rainbow colored, as this isn't something they offer in real life, and therefore could provide an inaccurate depiction of what they provide in their cars. However, if Forza, let's say, or Ferrari offer 10 different car or color patterns for the inside, let's say that we could do the same thing to offer these interiors. Just like the preset exterior colors that come with it, add this for the interior, maybe even having two tones, more customizability to make your car have a bit more of a personality. And on a side note, even adding more immersive interiors when racing, for example, seeing the steering wheel turn a lot more instead of the same preset angles we've had for virtually years. For example, the same 180-degree lock steering wheel movement that I'm sure we've all seen quite enough of, and make the interior experience of driving games or driving Forza and doing races a little bit more exciting. Next up, we've got universal number plates. Since Forza Horizon 3, number plates have been around. However, there's always been inconsistency with the size of the plates, the fonts for example, and there's no such thing as country-based plates. People who are playing from Forza should have the ability to be able to rep what country they want to have with their car, whether that's based on what country they're from, or if they're trying to align it with the car they're driving. For example, having an iconic Dubai plate on a Bugatti, or a Japanese plate on a JDM car with the Japanese flag, and actually being able to customize the plates to see what they look like in Japan, for example. Right now, people can apply stickers to make it look like it's a plate from this country, but it lacks customization. Nothing to do that. It's not really a normal game feature. Adding it officially would definitely be very cool to see. Next up, a proper career mode. One of the biggest complaints we've seen in Forza Horizon 5 was the lack of progression. Everyone can understand the fact that the Forza Horizon 5 player base virtually fell off after the first month of release, if not the first couple of weeks, despite the fact that there were over 10 million players that were playing in the first week. If you look at the Steam chart data now, it's struggling to be in the tens of thousands. You could be a new player, and within 30 minutes of playing Forza Horizon 5, you're already in an X-Class supercar. We saw the same in Forza Horizon 4. You could just start playing the game, and suddenly you're in a McLaren Senna. I understand this as a preview to be able to understand what kind of cars can be offered in the game, but you could literally unlock these cars in your garage within hours of playing the game. Where's the build up and where's the progression? Where this is designated as a certain career mode that's separate to the normal free roam with the same sort of progression we've already seen, or just revamping how the car progression system works. Instead of it all being towards Horizon Festival Player Series, which I do agree are good for releasing new cars and keeping people playing week by week or month by month, adding a career mode where you could progressively level up and progressively gain access to better cars would not only give the game more longevity, but make these cars seem a little bit more unique, other than cars you can simply go with a click of your fingers without really having to putting in any effort into playing the game. Next up is the ability to change seasons. Now I think we can all agree that from summer to winter or winter to spring, being able to change this would be pretty cool to see. You can play depending on what you're feeling. There could even be separate online lobbies based off certain Horizon or seasons, which will be definitely very cool. And just quickly, most of you watching this video right now are not subscribed to the channel, so if you want to help us hit 150k and stay up to date with the best Forza glitches, content, news and more, be sure to tap that button, it really helps out a lot. This was more of a particular issue in Forza Horizon 4, but it's still been something that people have been waiting to be addressed. For example, how many times were you playing Horizon 4 if you played the Forza back then, and you're trying to play or have a certain bit of fun in free roam, but it was winter, kind of ruined the vibe, or even if you just want an exact photo in a certain season, it definitely affects if it's in winter, or you just want to be able to play in summer consistently where you can change the weather to accustom to how you actually want to play the game. Forza is a free roam game, but we're always constrained to the same sort of seasonal complaints or seasonal constraints through week by week Horizon Festival Player Series. Why not make a mode where people can choose what they want to play instead of having people tap out of the game every week as soon as winter comes around? Next up will be updated car meets. Now, car meets are around in all the Forza games, but haven't really been quite revamped in Horizon 4 or 5, and I think it's time we do that for Horizon 6. We should be able to, for example, use Forza Vista to walk around other people's cars if it were to be a car meet inside of someone's house or inside of the Horizon Festival playlist. Instead of just the one that you have enabled where you can only look at your car, why not add the same functionality where you could look at your whole lobby's cars if you were to interact or engage or initiate a car meet? Even, for example, it could be 10x people in the mansion in game with their favorite cars you could all look at, and even with their own customized interior for the mansion based off which config they chose based on the previous thing I mentioned in this video. And these could be set in one player's house with their customized interior of their mansion or their house, wherever they actually want to organize it. Overall, it would make car meets a lot better than what we've ever seen before in Forza games and give characters a little bit more purpose, even adding the ability where you can actually customize your character and other people can see it. You can only change the clothing or gender or general outfit of your character you have in game, but other people can hardly see it unless they drive past you in their car or you're entering into a race. Imagine having a car meet, walking around other people's cars, your own custom fits, or in a custom mansion. It'd definitely be quite the sight to see. Now, next up, realistic traffic. This one is simple. The traffic dynamics in Forza are just strange, to be honest. Pretty much AI driving around with autopilot. And of course they are NPC drivers, this makes sense. For example, none of the traffic in Forza is dynamic. NPCs can't even beep their horn at you. There's no such thing as a traffic build-up in a concentrated area, or them driving around other cars that are slow, or beeping, or giving you a challenge to actually swerve through traffic. It's always the same cars doing the same things. It's not exactly enticing or realistic. And while we talk about traffic, having the ability to enable or disable traffic would definitely be pretty cool as well. How many times have you been trying to hit a top speed on a highway in a game like Forza Horizon 4 or 5, and a random NPC car appears and pretty much messes it all up for you? I understand that traffic in Forza is pretty much a ghost town, but the occasional car can be all you need to pretty much mess it up, especially if you're playing Forza on single player mode, where there are a lot more NPC cars to make up for the lack of online players. Being able to enable or disable traffic would definitely be pretty cool, especially if it's just to be in single player where they're a lot more prevalent. Now, of course, guys, one of the last things I'll be covering in this video will be movie creator. We've always seen the insane footage in Forza tutorials or the actual Forza trailers, crazy angles, doors opening up of cars while driving, which we've never actually seen in game, or even just customized interiors. Yet we've never actually been able to use these features ourselves. The movie creator is pretty much restricted to the photo taker, where you can take photos of cars with certain angles, but you can't actually use these to make clips of certain races or certain cars from your favorite races or a stunt you might have done in game. An example is the Rockstar editor in GTA 5. Being able to do this, capture videos, would be pretty fun. It might not appeal to every player in the game, but definitely could be something that I'm sure a certain subset of community would of course enjoy. But guys, the last thing I'll be covering in this video will be improved car controls, pretty much adding more realism. For example, we've got convertible roofs in the game, but really not much else. Being able to start up or turn off your car, manual lighting controls to be able to pop up and down lights on certain older cars. For example, the OG Mazdas, popping up the front lights on them would be pretty insane, or even being able to indicate in your cars. Now, I'm sure on a controller, it could be hard to stuff these all on one controller, given the lack of actual ability to customize this too much, but being able to add a little bit more creativity is mainly my primary point. For example, in Gran Turismo 7, hundreds of cars are all configured with their own indicators. This is definitely feasible for Forza to do, even if it's just their good old copy and paste, which we've seen with their track history in the past, such as the engine sounds. Being able to add some sort of simple ability to be able to use your indicators or turn cars on and off would definitely be appreciated by the community.